Hello? 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 Sir, am I audible? Hello? Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Hello,
Hello.
sir?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Tell me.
So can I start?
Let's just wait for another 2 minutes. We had almost
Okay.
50 registrations, but we only see about 136 participants now. So let's
Okay.
wait for another 5 minutes, and then at 5:10 we can start. Okay?
5:10.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Sure.
So at the beginning, I request to our principal sir, then he will talk.
Sure, sure. No
About
problem, sir.
5 minutes.
And then we will start.
Yes, then we will start.
Okay, sure.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, sir, can we start now?
Sir, yes, we can start, sir.
Sure. I think.
Sir, please, sir, please unmute and start video option of our principal sir and vice principal madam.
Okay, sir. Just one moment. So, can you tell me the name?
Malti madam, P Malti and Vijay M Vadai.
Mahesh, can you please unmute Malti madam?
Only Vijay M Vadai sir will speak about this.
Sure. Okay, sir. Just give me one moment.
Vadai sir is our principal, sir.
Sure. Just one moment.
Yeah.
You also unmute to Dr. Malti also.
Already unmuted. You can just proceed further.
No, Malti madam.
Already unmuted me. Hello.
But I can see you are muted there. Acha.
My audio is
Video too.
video also.
Both video and audio both. Host should take care. Audio and video both should be on for Dr. Malti
Just
and
giving.
Dr. Vadai.
Yeah, we're just unmuting. Just one moment. Yeah, sir, we have already enabled the video option. You can click on the video and then you can just start. You will have an option to start the video.
Okay, sir. So, will you start?
It is, you cannot start your video because the host has disabled it. It is mentioned like that.
Yes, yes. Zishan sir, there is a message. When we start video, there is a message. That's why we are not able to start video.
You cannot start your video because I started trying to unmute it, but it is mentioning that you cannot start your video because the host has disabled it.
Okay,
Yes.
so one moment, I'm checking on it. Or else, can we just proceed without the video, sir? Because I think it will take some time and we already have participants. We can just start with.
You please continue. You please continue. Okay.
So, sir, shall I continue, sir? Okay.
Sure, yes.
Yes. So, good evening to one and all. Respected principal, sir, and IQAC chairman, Dr. Vijay M. Vadai, sir. Respected vice principal, madam, and coordinator of IQAC, Dr. P. Malti. Respected HODs, dean, and faculty members, and dear participants. Myself, Mr. Avinash Lande. I am librarian of DY Patil College of Engineering, AKURDI, welcome you all on the occasion of national webinar organized by IQAC and Central Library on how to write and publish papers in any 50,000 plus Web of Science and Scopus Index journals and conference papers effectively and efficiently using Typeset Research Studio. Before we get started, I would like to request our principal sir to say a few words about this workshop. Sir, over to you, sir. Hello. Sir, principal sir.
I think he just left the meeting. I cannot see him.
Okay, okay. So, sir, before we get started, I would like to tell you that if you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box. We will bring them up during the presentation, and we will also have some time for question and answer at the end. So, without further delay, we will turn the time over to our speaker, Zishan Ahmed, trainer and consultant at Nexus Subscription Company, which is helping institute to increase their research productivity and output. So I request Zishan sir to start further session. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Avinash. And first of all, I would like to welcome all the panelists, all the attendees that are a part of the webinar today. So as you might have been known, that the agenda today is to talk on how you will be able to write and publish papers in any one of the 50,000 plus Web of Science and Scopus Index journals. So we will start with some of the common problems that are faced by all the researchers across the globe, and slowly we'll go to a live demonstration of the software. And at the last, we will have a kind of a question and answer session. So anybody who has any questions during the demonstration has access to all the attendees that are a part of the webinar have access to the chat box. So people, anybody who has a question during the demonstration or at any point of time can put in their questions in the chat box, and we will assign almost about 15 to 20 minutes at the end just to answer all the questions as well. So we will just go ahead and start with the presentation. Yeah, Dr. Vijay sir, I think you are able to look at my screen now. One moment. Avinash sir, can you look at my screen?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Sure, sir. No problem.
It is visible, sir. No problem.
No problem. Thank you. So, so slowly, we will actually, before I start the presentation, before we get into the webinar, now let's just, before we get into the live demonstration, we will just start with some of the common problems that are faced, that most of the researchers across the globe, be it in India, be it in any part of the world, are actually facing today. Now, what is the first problem that is faced by researchers today? One of the most common problem that any research paper, any research, any author or any co-author or anybody who wishes to write a research paper is in terms of formatting. Now, how does formatting become one of the problem, and why is it becoming a problem? We have to actually look into a little background on that. So whenever you make a decision of writing a research paper, the first step starts by selecting a subject area. And now once you've selected a subject area, now the second step is to go ahead and select a journal, which is actually a part of the same subject area. Now, once you've selected a particular journal, almost all the researchers across the globe wish to get their articles published in any one of the journals, any one of the journal that might be a part of Scopus, and any journal that might be a part of the Web of Science. Now, whenever you're writing a research paper for any journal, there are some guidelines that actually has to be followed before you submit a research paper. Now, if you're looking at my screen, if you're writing a research paper for Elsevier, these are the guidelines that you actually need to understand. That a particular article has to be formatted in a specific way, how should be the subdivision numbers, and all of these issues like what should be the equation number, the figure, how should you actually name the appendices and all such issues. You can see here that abstract should be, written like this. All of those minute issues have to be read and have to be understood by an author before he submits a particular research paper to any journal. Now, that is where formatting plays a very big role. Now, why is formatting important? For you, it might be a single research paper that you might have been writing into a subject area. But for a journal like Elsevier, they might be getting thousands of submissions in a day or whenever they are open for papers. Now, in such case, the first criteria which Elsevier selects the paper is the document or is the research article submitted according to the guidelines of the submission guidelines of the Elsevier journal. That is the reason formatting is really important. Now, if you have to format today, there are no research tools that are specifically built for research purpose. Most of the authors or researchers or any person who's actually into research either use an MS Word, or either they use any notepad, or they use tools like Overleaf, or they use LaTeX, in which they can just go ahead and format the research articles. Now, what are the problems in using this uh, already so popular tools? MS Word doesn't help you in sort of formatting a research article. Even in MS Word, you have to go ahead and manually format each of the element. Now, if you're using a tool like Overleaf, just to write a particular title, you actually need to write almost a 15 to 20 line code. Now, this is an example of how you can actually, if you just have to write a thesis title, this is the number of line of code that you actually need to write in LaTeX. Now, that is also a second problem that is also a second problem that has been faced by researchers today, that LaTeX has a very huge learning curve. Just imagine that you might be writing a research paper in the subject area of physics, or you might be writing a research paper in the area of pharmacy, or it might be on chemical or biological paper, or any such areas where you're not familiar with the programming. Just to write your research paper and just to get your paper published, you actually need to learn LaTeX. Now, most of the universities and most of the colleges across India and across globe actually do training, actually provide training to the faculty and the authors at their institute. Even in such cases, most of the researchers today find it really difficult to understand LaTeX and also to write and format the research articles on a tool like Overleaf or on a tool like a LaTeX editor. Now, what is the third problem that has been faced by most of the researchers today? So the third problem is that there are no powerful tools that are available for citing, formatting, or building research. Now, what do you mean by this? Uh, whenever you're writing, whenever you're quoting a reference in between a text, you actually need to cite a reference within the text. Now, you might be using multiple tools such as EndNote. You might be using another tool like PaperPile, Mendeley, just to format your research paper, just to format your references, or just to cite those references in text. So you need to use a different tool apart from an MS Word. And for formatting, you have to do formatting individually, either on LaTeX, Overleaf, or on an MS Word. And these tools do not help you in sort of building your particular research. Now, what do I mean by building a particular research? These tools do not tell you that after abstract you have to actually write introduction. After introduction, you have to write a particular subject, or like a materials and methods or results, or any such specifications. So that is the problem, where most of the researchers today use multiple tools to just write one single paper. Now, how does the collaboration happen with authors? Now, you might be aware that in multiple cases, a research paper might have multiple co-authors, or it might be a single author as well. In terms of collaborating with multiple co-authors, most of the collaboration today happens offline, where all the authors sit at one place and then they probably discuss or they brainstorm, and then they just go ahead and write a research paper. But if you have to, if you're not present physically, then even in such cases, you either have to get on a call, or you have to send them multiple emails, and then you guys need to decide whether what goes in and what goes out. Now, that is the reason collaboration is a very important feature, uh, very important part, where, and also a very big problem that most of the authors and the researchers are facing today. And now, how actually typeset can bridge this gap? Now, before we could understand on how typeset can actually bridge this gap, I would also want to show you another document that we had actually done a presentation on. You can see we had done a recent survey on. Now, before getting on about how typeset can help, you need a little something about typeset. Now, typeset has, we are basically an authoring tool which is helping authors to write the research papers in a much better and an efficient way. So we have more than 100,000 plus authors on typeset, 60,000 plus co-authored articles. We've been there in the 91 countries, and more than 700 plus universities across the globe are using typeset to format the research articles and also to increase the research productivity. Now, what is the ordeal of research writing? As I mentioned to you that we had done a few surveys in which it can be estimated that about 1.5 million hours are wasted on reformatting rejected articles per year, with a 62% rejection rate. Now, the reason, as I mentioned to you initially, that Elsevier might just reject your paper because the article might have not been formatted according to their submission guidelines. And it is estimated that almost 1.5 million hours are wasted on reformatting the rejected articles into the same journal format. This is one of the biggest problems that is faced by the research community today. And what is the second result that we achieved? That based on one survey, an author has to go through an average of 1,979 guideline words to format their submissions. Now, if I have to just show you an example, this is one of a submission guideline of an Elsevier journal. Now, similarly, if we look at Springer Journal author guidelines, this journal guideline might be completely different from Elsevier. You can see. Now, for an example, if you have written a research paper for Elsevier and it gets rejected, the next thing that you might try is you might go ahead and try for Springer. Now, even Springer has a very big instructions on what should be and what should be the submission guideline of a particular article. Now, that is what this survey talks about, that based on the survey, an author has to go through an average of 1979 guideline words to format the submissions. Now, how does typeset help in solving all of these problems? So what we're doing right now is we're just going to a live demonstration of the software where I'll take you through each of the elements of how the software can actually help you tackle all of these problems and help you write a research paper in a much efficient way. Now, we have a website called typeset.io. Every user who's on the webinar can just go ahead and visit this website and create a kind of a free trial account for each one of the users. So we have a free trial limit up to 1,000 words. People can just go click on sign up, and then they can put in their name and email address and create a account for themselves. Put in your name, email address, and set up a password, and you'll be able to go ahead and start using the platform. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm just logging into the software. Now, since I've already created an account, the moment I put in my email address and password, I'll be able to log into the dashboard, and this is how the dashboard looks like. Now, we have two different elements in the dashboard. One is the documents that you've been working on, and here is where most of the formats on the database of all the journals is stored. Now, under the formats gallery, we have multiple categories that we have. One is we have publishers, universities, generic, conferences as well. So if you're writing a research paper for any one of the journals such as Elsevier, now let's just search this is an Elsevier. You can come and put in any, so the software also helps you in journal discovery. By any chance, if you're writing a research article for nanotechnology, you just come in and put the name as nanotechnology. And you will have all the journals that are under the subject name nanotechnology. You can see that currently we have so many publishers under the name under the nanotechnology keyword. Similarly, you can see that there are journals from Springer, there are journals from IOP Publishing. You'll be able to choose any one of this template, whichever template you would want to write a research paper for. Like you can see the publisher is Springer, you have Sage, and you have IEEE. You can see that this is the submission format. Now, once you've already chosen the article, once you've already chosen the journal, what you have to do is imagine that we have selected nanomaterials and nanotechnology journal from the Sage publisher. Now, this is how the submission format should look like. Now, since most of the authors or the researchers today write the research papers on MS Word, we give you both the options where you can write the research paper directly on typeset, or you can upload a research paper through an MS Word file. Now, if you click on MS Word file, you will be asked to upload an MS Word file. If you click on blank document, you can just go ahead and start writing it from scratch, or you can go ahead and copy paste the entire content. Now, for the demo purpose, I'll upload an MS Word file from my local system. Now I'm searching for a document called demo document, which I'll upload, and then I'll convert it into nanomaterials journal format. Now I've selected the document. I'm clicking on open. Now, once you upload the document, we have built an artificial intelligence engine, which will actually understand the schematics of the document that you have uploaded. It will take about 30 to 60 seconds, depending on an internet connectivity, and post which you will have to just do a very small 4-step process. Now you can see that this pop-up is telling you to get your output to nanomaterials and nanotechnology guidelines in just 4 simple steps. You click on let's go, and this pop-up is telling you to select the title. Now I selected the title, I click save and continue. Now the pop-up is telling you to select the authors and affiliations. I click on authors and affiliations, and then I click save and continue. And then now this pop-up is asking me to select abstract. I'm clicking on abstract, then save and continue. And when you go back to the references, you click on the first reference and you click on the last reference. Now also kindly pay attention here where you can see that the name of the references, the name of the author of this particular reference is actually at the end of the reference. Even in such cases, the software has the capability to automatically correct it and format it according to the nanomaterials and nanotechnology guideline. Now, once you have selected the references, you click save and continue, and then you click on preview formatted document. Now, the moment I click on preview formatted document, it will take almost about 30 to 60 seconds, within which the same document would actually get converted into a Sage submission guideline. Now you can see that this was the same article which has been converted into a Sage submission guideline. You can see here that when we uploaded, the references were unnumbered, but right now the number has automatically been added. And even in the references, you can see here the name of the authors was actually at the end. Abbasian is the name of the authors here, and here you can see the name of the authors is actually at the start. So similarly, the software has the capability to convert. The software has the capability to convert the references which are unformatted references into formatted references according to a journal guideline. Now what you have to do is, this is how the conversion happens. But if you'd want to go ahead and make any edit on this document, what you can do is you can click on edit on typeset, and then you will just land on the editor. So when you land on the editor, this is where you would be able to add, delete, or do any sort of collaboration on the document. Now, once I click on edit on typeset, I will actually land on the editor where I will be able to go ahead and add or delete any content. Now you can see that the authors have been migrated. The keywords have been migrated. There was an additional copy of the keywords, which I'll just go ahead and delete it like this. So you can see the entire content has been automatically migrated. So there are a few manual steps that you need to do. The caption of the figure will always be at the bottom of the figure. You just have to cut it and paste it in the right space. Like this. You just cut this and paste it in the right, and then you just delete this unwanted table. Click on these 3 dots and then just delete the table like this. You can see that all the table with the caption and everything has been automatically migrated, but you do not have to do anything. Now, you might ask me, how do I add an equation? Or you might ask me, how do I add a line of code? Or you might ask me, how do I add an appendix or exhibit? You have an option to add all of them on the software. So wherever, if you want to add a equation here, you just move the cursor and then click on insert, and then from the insert option, you will be able to select whether you want to insert an inline equation or a standalone equation. I'm selecting an inline equation, and then a beautiful visual editor would actually open up, in which I'll be able to go ahead and make or edit a particular equation. So this visual editor is a very comprehensive equation editor with all the mathematical functions and also the chemical functions. You can see that we also have a chemical table here for all the different chemical elements. We have also options for different matrices and all of that. You just go ahead and choose any one of them like this. Now, one is this way. So if the equations are already a part of the document, the software has the capability to import the equations as it is. Now, if you'd want to add equations separately, if you're using a MathML or if you have a latex code for that, you would like similarly how we selected the visual, you will be able to go ahead and add a latex code as well. Now I'll show you an example. So if you click on edit, you will have an option here in which you can add a latex code. So right now it is showing an error, but I'll just show you an example. You can click here on these boxes and then just do. And now you can see that this equation has been added. Similarly, like this, a latex code automatically gets generated. If you have a latex code already for an equation, you can just come and add it here this way. Now this equation gets added. Now, as I was mentioning to you during when we started the presentation, how do you cite the references? So currently the citation softwares that you use are multiple. You might be using a Mendeley, or you might be using a Paperpile, or you might be using EndNote. But what you have to do is you have to go ahead and install a plugin and then you have to do it, which requires a lot of time. Now, in what Typeset does is Typeset automatically gives you an option where you can directly just go ahead and cite the reference. So wherever you have all these references, you can just click here and then click on cite, and from here you select the references. You will have a yellow pop-up that will open up. Whenever you click on yellow pop-up, you will have all the references that were a part of the document showing up in the right-hand side. And then you search for this particular reference in the reference section. You search for the name Fisher and you have this reference showing up like this. You also have an option to change the format, whether you want to follow an author here or author comma here. Whatever format the system renders, it is by default the journal format. If you'd want to make any customization, we also give you an option to make a customization on that. Similarly, let's cite another references. Click on reference and then just search for YU. This is the reference and this reference gets cited. Similarly, if you'd want to cite a particular figure or a table, you can also do it. Now you can see here it is showing as figure 1. You can delete this and then from here you can select on cite and select the figure 1. So this is how you'll have to go ahead and cite the references. Once you know that my document is completely ready for being published or for being submitted, what you have to do is you have to click on output. Now the moment you do a click on output, you can see towards my right screen that all of the settings have been set into a default mode, where you can see that the line number setting, you can see that this is how beautiful our documents get created. Like this. You can see that since I cited only 2 references, you can see that those 2 references are actually appearing here like this. Now you might ask me that there is an image which is actually hovering over an entire page. How do I make it into a column fit, or how do I reduce the size of the table or the figure? So in such case, what you have to do is you have to just go back to the right mode and then scroll to the image. So these were the image, and then just click on these 3 dots and make the change setting from full width to the column fit, and then do an output. So after you make any changes and after you click on output, you'll always have an option to refresh the preview. So this refresh preview actually compiles the changes into the document that you have just done. Now, once you click on output, the image which was spanning over an entire page will actually get fitted into a column fit. Now you can see that last time the image was a complete image, but now this is appearing as into a column fit. So like this, you can automatically take care of the formatting of the images, formatting of the equations, formatting of the tables, and also the formatting of the content. Now we can see that this also is appearing into a entire page. Now we will also go ahead and change those settings and make it a column fit. Click on these 3 dots and then make a column fit. And then you click on output. Once I again click on output, just do a refresh preview. Now we can see that both the images are actually appearing as a column fit images like this. Now, once you know that all my editing has been done or all my formatting has been done, you just click on these three dots and then download. From the download model, you will have an option to download the file in any one of these formats. You can download it in a PDF, you can download it in LaTeX or into a docx. So right now I'm downloading it as a PDF. Click on download as PDF. Now within a span of about 30 to 60 seconds, the PDF would automatically get downloaded and then you click on open. So this is how the document is looking like. You can directly go ahead, visit on the SAGE website, the Journal of Nanotechnology, and then directly go ahead and submit the research paper. This is how the formatting happens on the software. Now, we also have an inbuilt feature in which you can check for plagiarism. You click on check for plagiarism, this file would automatically be sent for plagiarism check. And you will actually receive the report within a span of about probably you will once the file actually completes the plagiarism test, you will have an option to download the plagiarism file here. But currently, since you have sent it for the plagiarism check, you will have an option with a green tick mark. You will actually receive a plagiarism report on your email, on a registered email address, which would actually look something like this, with a different color coding for different elements such as plagiarism or citation, references, or character replacement. You can scroll down and you can have a look at the color coding. So here in each page, you'll have a color coding indicating a particular feature, whether it is the plagiarism in citation or it is in references or it is a character replacement like that. And then whenever if you want to make change, you go on the write mode and then make the necessary changes and then submit the document again. As I was mentioning to you, right now the file has been sent to plagiarism check. And once it gets downloaded, you'll be able to download the file like this. Now, the moment I download the plagiarism file, this is how the document looks like this. And now let's talk about how a particular author or a research paper will be able to collaborate. Now, before that, I would also want to show you an important feature, which is, by any chance, we will go to the collaboration feature at a later point of time. But let's discuss one of the most important format, which is reformatting. Now, by any chance, you have done everything right. You have submitted the article, but by any chance, SAGE actually rejects your paper, saying that it is not under their specialization or subject area, or it might not be under, they might have received a lot of entries and they'll not be able to go ahead and publish your research article. In such case, there might be multiple reasons why a research article might have been rejected, probably of the newness of the research, the quality of the research, the quality of the English, or multiple reasons as such. So in such case, most of the researchers or authors, they get dejected and they stop an effort, or they stop putting an effort to get their paper published in any one of the different journal. Now, how does typeset help in such cases? Now, what you have to do here is you just go ahead and click on change format and then choose any of the journal that you want to write for. Now, initially, since we added nanotechnology, you can see that we had started with, the initial template that we'd used was from SAGE. Now we can use any other different template. Now let's say we have Dove Medical Press. I'm clicking on view. And this is how the Dove Medical Press document looks like. I can click on use this format. And the software would automatically convert the same research paper into a Dove Medical Press format. Initially, this document was actually a SAGE. It was according to the SAGE publishing group. Now, this same research article is being reformatted into Dove Medical Press, Nanotechnology Science and Applications Journal. Once you have changed the template, you just have to go ahead and click on output. And now the software is actually compiling your research article into Dove Press guidelines. You can see this is how the document looks like. I'm clicking on download and downloading it as a PDF. I'll compare both the PDFs and I'll show it to you, and also change the format for a few different other journals as well. You can see in the first article that they did not have any sort of a block for abstract and keywords. Here you can see that the formatting is completely different. In this document, it had all the journal title and stuff, but here it doesn't have anything such like that. Now let's say even after submitting to DOWPRESS, your article gets rejected. Even in such case, you just can go ahead and click on change format and then go ahead and choose any other format that you want to write the research paper for. I'm searching for research technology, sorry, nanotechnology. Let's just choose any one of the first template from Springer, cancer nanotechnology. I'm clicking on view. And now this is how the document looks like. I'm clicking on use this format. And now the same research article would actually get converted into Springer guidelines. You can see that every journal follows a different journal style. Now you can see that this journal in the references follows kind of a DOI style. But here, this doesn't have any sort of a DOI like this. The software will automatically follow the journal guideline. Now we have changed it to Springer. Now just click on output. And then now you'll see that the same article would actually get converted into a Springer format. Now it just got converted into a single column document. Click on download and just download as a PDF. When I'm clicking on open, you can see that this is how even you can see that no name, manuscript number, all of this will automatically be will be added by the software. Let's just scroll at the bottom. Now this journal specifies that all of the figures and the tables have to actually be at the end of the document. You can see that the software has automatically pushed this tables and figures at the bottom. But we also give you an option to change the settings. You can see right now in the settings panel, you can move the tables both at the bottom, or you can just go ahead and move only the tables or only the figures as well. Or whenever you click on default, it will just make sure that wherever the document, wherever the table or the figures were in the document, it will just get formatted at the same place. You can see now. Initially, the figures and the tables were actually at the bottom. Right now, the tables and the figures are there wherever they were a part of the document. Similarly, like this, you can use any one of these options from here. Now let's just move tables at the bottom. You will see that all the tables will actually move at the bottom. Just to perform this particular operation on MS Word or on LaTeX, it might be multiple lines of code. On MS Word, it will take you multiple minutes. Even if you are an intermediate or an expert on an MS Word, it will still take you easily about 5 to 10 minutes. But right now on the software, it can be done within just a single click. Now you can see that the images are actually apart wherever they were in the document, but all the tables have actually moved at the end. So you can see that I just started with one research article. We started with Sage Publishing Group, and this is the Sage Publishing formatting. Then we moved to this particular journal from IOP Publishing, and then we moved to Springer. You can see in this article, when I downloaded, all the tables and the images are actually at the bottom. Then we again made a change in this. Only the tables are at the bottom and the figures are actually wherever they are. Now, you might ask me that if this particular journal has if this particular software has the capability to convert a research article into one format and the other, the same software can actually help convert this research article into a thesis, or it can help you convert into a conference template as well. Now, we have multiple universities across the globe who are using Typeset in formatting their assignment reports, or they might be formatting their dissertation theses, or they might be using it for PhD theses, assignment reports, or anything like that. You can see that we have multiple universities like that. So we have one of our clients, Rajaram Bappa Institute of Technology in Maharashtra, who are actually using us for formatting their thesis. Now, if you are an author now, or if you are a faculty, and if you are a PhD, candidate, and if you're writing a thesis, and if you already have the thesis template on a software, you can just go ahead and search for that thesis template. And right now, let me just go ahead and search for Rajaram Bapu RIT thesis. I will search for RIT thesis. That research will actually come in here. Thesis template for RIT. I'll select this, and you can see towards my right. So this is how the thesis template looks like. Now I'll just click on use this format. Now you can see that the same research paper that you have written for a particular journal can actually be converted into a thesis template as well. It will take about 30 to 60 seconds. Now you can see that the template has been changed to a thesis template. And now once I've changed, I'll just click on output. And then the software would actually convert the same research article into a thesis template for RIT with all the cover page, such as the first page, the introduction page, all of that would automatically be added. Now you can see it is the same article. I'll just go ahead and click on download and then download it as a PDF. Now you can see that this was the same research article. Industrialization of cabinet chair facility. It is the same article. You can see that the certificate automatically gets added. The declaration automatically gets added. The acknowledgement section automatically gets added. Whatever the acknowledgement is that you have, that automatically gets added. The abstract and everything. Each of the subheading actually becomes an individual chapter like this. The same research article has been converted into a thesis template, into a thesis format. You can just download this, get it printed, and just go ahead and submit it to your particular university or to a particular institute. Here you can put in the name of the degree as well. Like if you are a BTech, you put in as BTech. You have put a Department of Electronics, and then you put a branch as telecommunication, and then you put sponsored by submission year. Let's put as 2020, like this, and then do a refresh preview. So whatever information you will add it here, and then you click on refresh preview, all this information gets compiled into the document. So you can see that it has been added as BTech in telecommunication now. We'll also give an option to add the roll number. We'll have 2020. You can see that RIT Rajaram Nagar and all of that has automatically been added by the software. Now similarly, if you have if you want to convert this research paper into any of a conference, since we have a lot of authors, so most of the attendees today in the webinar are from different institutions. They might be writing a lot of research paper for multiple conferences across the globe, conferences in India, conferences across the globe. So you can just go ahead and click on conferences and choose any one of the conferences from the above. So we have multiple conference templates. So we have close to about 16,000 conference templates, ranging from Nature to Elsevier, ACM, AFR, EIAA, EIP conference. Let's just go ahead and choose this conference template, International Conference of Computation Methods in Science and Engineering. I'm clicking on view format, and now this is how the conference template looks like. This is how the conference template looks like. Now, once you change the conference template, you again click on use this format, and the same research article would actually get converted into a conference. So now you can see that once I've changed the template, this research article actually gets converted into a conference template according to an AIP. Now, once you have again changed the template, you just click on output, and the software would automatically convert that research paper according to a conference guideline. Yeah, so this is how the formatting looks like. Click on download and then just download it as PDF, and then just go ahead and submit it on the conference website or anywhere into the submission systems. Yeah. Now, this is how you'll be able to convert a research article into any one of the formats that you want to. As I was mentioning before that I was talking about collaboration, since we have multiple attendees today from different colleges, we might have PhD candidates and also guides for different people who are a part of the institute. We have built a share feature within which you will be able to invite a particular user on the document. Now, for an example, if I want to invite a co-author or one of my guide, you can just click on share and then invite anyone that you actually want to collaborate on directly on this platform. I'm just doing a refresh. I'll show to you how you'll be able to collaborate on the software itself. So you can invite any of your co-authors or you can invite your guide or on the software and you give them different level of permission, whether you can give them an editing access. You can see right now I'm inviting Mahesh at .io. You can click on, you can put in their name and then just do an invite and this person gets added here. So you get to choose what type of an access you would want to give them, whether you want to give them an editing access, suggestion access or view access. Let's just give Mahesh a suggestion access. I'm clicking on suggest. Mahesh will actually receive an email on his email address with a link where he can access this document. And whenever he clicks on, he will be actually sent to this mode where whatever he writes will actually turn into green. This. Let's say if the guide or anyone of your co-author suggested to just delete this content, it will look like this. Now, when you log in back, since you are the owner of the document, you will still be having an editing access. And whenever you hover on this changes and do a right click, you will have an option to either to select it or either to delete it. Now, I think that this was not this was not necessarily a part of the document. I just do a wrong mark and this gets rejected from the paper. Now, if I just go and do a right click and accept it, this content would automatically get deleted from the document like this. So this is how you'll be able to go ahead and collaborate directly on the software. You do not need to send multiple emails or you do not need to go ahead and wait for a particular physical presence as well. So we might have a lot of faculty who's attending this webinar as well. So since most of the faculty is busy, finishing their syllabus and also with other activities, I think a tool like Typechat can help them review a paper in a very faster and an efficient way. So this is how you'll be able to use Typeset in formatting a research article, in collaborating with your guides and co-authors, and also in terms of increasing the chances of your paper getting published into multiple journals. So we have close to about 55,000 journal plus templates on our software as of today. You can go ahead and write a research article into any one of this template. Now you can see that the template guidelines have automatically been built and automatically have been converted into a template format by the publishing experts and the engineers at Typeset. So you can just go ahead and select any one of the journal. You can name any of the subject area. You put in physics, you have suggestions like this. So only under physics, we have 777 results. So if you're writing a research article for physics, you can go ahead and choose any one of the research articles that you're writing for, whether it is a chemical physics, astroparticle physics, technical physics, physics and material chemistry, like this. Similarly, you can go ahead and search for chemistry. You will have multiple journals would actually show up whenever you search for them, like this. So if you observe clearly, what we are doing right now is the software is not only helping you in formatting your research articles, but it is also helping you in journal discovery. A particular author or researcher might only be aware of 2 or 3 journals, but there might be multiple journals in which he might go ahead and write a research article as well. All of these journals are Web of Science and Scopus index journals with a very high impact score above 2. Now, this is how you can go ahead and choose any one of the template that you want to write a research paper for. And then if you wish to convert it into a thesis format or a dissertation format, we can just go on the university and choose. And you can go ahead and choose a university dissertation template and just go ahead and format it according to that. If you want to convert into a conference template, just go ahead and choose a conference template. So this is how you will be able to use the software in formatting your research paper, writing a research paper in an efficient and an effective manner, and also increasing your chances of your paper being published in any one of these journals. So by any chance, Springer, like for an example, if Sage rejects your paper, you can convert it into this particular journal. If this particular journal rejects the paper, you can convert it into a Springer format. If the Springer, if you'd want to convert that into a thesis template, you can just go ahead and convert it into a thesis template like this. And then if you want to wish to convert that into a conference template, you can just go ahead and convert it into a conference template like this. All the formatting of the references such as the APA, AMA, MLA, or any one of those reference standards will automatically be picked up by the software. I'll also show you an example on how you will be able to go ahead and format. So most of the time, the reference style will automatically be picked up by the software. You can see that this follows a numbered citation. This is generally a Vancouver style. And now when you go back to the Springer would have been following a completely different reference style. So the reference formatting also will be taken care by the software itself. Like this. So this is how you'll be able to go ahead and format a research article into multiple journals, into multiple conferences, into multiple thesis template, and all such information. Into any of this wish. If you want to see the bibliographic style change, let me search for an Elsevier template. I'll be able to show you that to you. So when I search for default templates for Elsevier articles, so we also give an option to change the bibliography style from any one of your choice. It might be an APA style, MLA, Vancouver, Harvard, or any such bibliographic styles. But whenever you choose a particular template, that particular template, the reference style would be according to the journal guideline. So you can see the bibliography style option here. Right now, this is coming as APA style. So if you want to change it to any one of the styles, you can see that this is how this is the number of styles that we support. It might be APA, AMA, IEEE standard, or Vancouver. By default, it will always be journal default style like this. So we also give you an option to change from 1 column settings to the 2 column settings. So right now this is 1 column. If I do a 2 column and then I do a refresh preview, the same article would actually get converted into 2 column setting. Like this. Now this becomes 2 column. And now the references is journal default style. Let's just convert it into APA. And then I click on refresh preview. Now the references would automatically be picked up according to an APA style. You can see this is the APA style. If you wish to convert it into Elsevier numbered, you click on Elsevier numbered and then do a refresh preview. And the references would automatically get converted into Elsevier numbered style. You can see right now the number is coming in. Similarly, if you want to add a line number, if you wish to add a line number as well, we give you that option as well. In line number settings, you have either unnumbered, numbered on left, numbered on right. If I choose numbered on left and then do a refresh preview, all the lines that are a part of the document would actually be numbered from left. You can see now that it is coming as numbered like this. So the software gives you software is a very comprehensive software with all the different elements that have been automatically built to specifically help all the research community, to all the researchers and authors who are trying to research papers who are trying to write the research papers in an efficient way. So this is how you will be able to use the software. Now this was the live demonstration of the software. Now we will open up for the questions and then we will go on answering each one of the questions individually. So if you have any questions, feel free to write that in the chat box and I'll go through each one of these questions and then we'll just answer each one of them. Yeah, so the first question that we will take is from Vidyasagar Jagtap. Can we write paper on theory and compiled information just like review paper? Please guide in this. So you can, so basically typeset helps you in writing, basically typeset helps you in formatting a research article. So if you have written a research article, you can upload that, search for any journal that you would want to write for, and then format it accordingly. Yes, Shweta Kagnevar, the name of the software is typeset.io. Yeah, Aparna R. Deshpande asked me a question. Typeset software is a paid software. Yes. So we offer two types of subscriptions. We offer individual subscriptions and also we offer institutional subscriptions. But I recommend going for institutional subscriptions because with that, we'll be able to make customizations for the template. So by any chance, if the journal that you want to write a research paper for is not into the formats gallery, if you have an institutional subscription, we'll be able to build that within a span of about 7 working days. Now, Kumaresh Mandal, is the software free? Can we use this personally too, or this requires institutional authorization? And can we format my script for any journal here? Absolutely, yes. So we offer a free version as well, but that is limited to only 1,000 words. I would also recommend you to go for an institutional license. You do not need any institutional authorization. It is just a normal software like how an MS Word is. And can we format my script for any journal here? Absolutely, yes. You can convert your one research paper into 50,000 plus journal templates as well if you wish to do that. Can we download the software and have to do it online? Himani Deshpande, the software is a cloud-based software. You will have to use it online. This is not a software that can be downloaded or used offline. Yeah, from Manoj Deshmukh, is it possible to have this kind of session for Sabu Siddiq Polytechnic and Engineering College students? Manoj Deshmukh, I would recommend you to go ahead and get in touch with Mr. Mahesh Wag from Nexus Company. He's the person who will be able to help you in organizing a webinar. Equation number, Kailash Shah, yes, so you will be having an option to add a equation as well. I'll show it to you here. When I click on write, you will have an option whenever you're writing a individual equation that is a standalone equation. Let me move my cursor here, and then when I'm clicking on equation.
Sir, hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, there is a one question asked by Smita Patiskar, madam.
Okay.
Is there any limit on number of papers we have written
No.
in this
So
typeset?
no. There is no limit on the number of papers. You can write unlimited number of papers with a single subscription. And you can download it as n number of times as well. You do not need to worry about that. So answering one question, one is equation number, Dr. Kailash Shah. So whenever you have an inline equation, you generally do not number it. But whenever you have a standalone equation, you have an option to go ahead and number it here. Like you have an option here, equation number 1, 2, 3, like this. You can name it. Yeah, Kailash Shah, if the equation number has been given in the document, it will automatically come in like that. Prashant Titare, if you have a premium account and if the article has more than 10,000 words, even in such case, the software will be able to work automatically. But if you're talking about a free version, the free version only gives you 1,000 word limit. What is the subscription amount of this software? Pooja Padya, I would request you to please get in touch with Mr. Mahesh Wag. He'll be the right person to help you with it. Or if you want more pricing information, you can visit our website, typeset.io. typeset.io/pricing. Yeah. Now let's go back to the other questions. What about plagiarism, whether the software stores paper on cloud after downloading PDF? So Dhanashri, there is a period of time we store the document for about a period of about 60 to 120 minutes. And then after that, the software automatically destructs the file that you've uploaded. Oh, Kailash Shah, so are you saving a research paper in your server and will it affect plagiarism if done at third party? So we haven't, most of the research papers that you actually do online will be stored under a specific server space. Now, whenever you're searching for a plagiarized content, we haven't seen any of the major changes in terms of plagiarism report. So it will be exactly like how the normal software renders.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, Musmadi sir is asking about how to check and access quality of journals because there are so many new journals coming up having more impact factor.
So what we can do is in the formats gallery, I was mentioning to you before, whenever you whenever you search for a journal, right? Let me show you an example. So we add all such information. Let's say physics. Let's search for physics. Under American Institute of Physics, there might be multiple journals. Okay. Now physics of fluids. Let's take this template. And whenever I'm viewing, you will have the information here. Let me show it to you. So all the journals that you have, like you can see, it has been used by 922 researchers like this. So most of the templates that are coming here have a very good impact factor score. Now, if you have any better journal and if that template is not there on the software, and if you have a subscription with us, we can build that template online. Now, searching a particular journal has to be taken care by the author. He has to choose which journal that he wants to write for. Yeah, with respect to book chapters, you can go ahead and write that as well. There are no restrictions on writing a book chapter.
Okay.
Let's just.
Sir, one again question asked by Kailash Shaw, sir.
Yeah.
Regarding, are you saving your research paper in our server, in your server? Because when researcher wants to write something or publish any platform, they have to upload their research in your software. So will it affect on plagiarism?
No, it generally doesn't affect on plagiarism. So what we do is we block most of this document that gets stored on our software is actually encrypted. Nobody will be able to go ahead and access that. So what happens is, we have been used by some of the top institutions such as IITs, IIMs in India, and they've been using our software since more than 2+ years right now. Most of the data that you have is 100% secure, and that doesn't affect any sort of a plagiarism content, because most of this data would be encrypted and nobody apart from you as an author will be able to go ahead and access that document.
Data is encrypted.
Yes, you can see here that you can go ahead and visit our security page and also our privacy page here. We have completely written to kind of have a very big page explaining the kind of privacy policies and the security practices that we follow at our company and also at Typeset. You will be able to go ahead and have a look at it. So we use some of the best state-of-the-art technology used by some of the biggest banks in the world, such as JP Morgan, ENY, all these banks, which actually use a very very good security practices. That is the same practices that we follow at Typeset.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Sir, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Is there any grammatical checking facilities available in this software?
So what we are doing is we do get a lot of requests for grammar check, but Typeset is a generic software. We do not specialize in a particular subject. Like we do not specialize in physics, chemistry, mathematics, or anything like that. So we have a basic grammar spelling correction software. You can see look at my screen that the software is telling you that there are 18 spelling errors. Whichever spelling is highlighted with a red dotted line, it thinks that it is a spelling mistake. But we do not have any software that does paraphrasing. It doesn't help you in that. For paraphrasing software, you can use any one of the online software such as Grammarly or Ginger software or any such things. But software only helps you in formatting. In terms of grammatical corrections, Typeset isn't that, but we're trying to build an integration with Grammarly at the moment.
The software is really good, but whether it is affordable by the individual researcher?
So we are currently running a kind of a discount campaign as well, which will offer some sort of a discount as well. So if an individual wants to subscribe for it, you can go ahead and have a look at the typeset.io/pricing website. Like we have different plans ranging from $20 to about $100 as well. It depends. You can see that if we go for an yearly plan, it is about $96. If you go for a monthly plan, it is about $20. But ideally, we always recommend users to go for an institution subscription, because the institution can be taken responsibility of offering a license to the authors as well. This way, all the authors at the institution can just go ahead and use that. So I would recommend all the participants to just go ahead and probably ask the librarian or the information officer at your institute to get in touch with Mr. Mahesh. He'll be the right person to help you with institutional subscriptions. If you want to go for an individual subscription, you can visit this page and probably look at whichever is under your budget, and you can just go for it.
Thank you.
Kailash Shah said that please convert paper in Elsevier and IEEE format and show us. I have already converted paper into Elsevier and Springer. If you want me to convert it into IEEE, I'll do that again. I'm clicking on change format. I'm sorry, I have to log in back. So it's just like how we changed from Springer to, Sage to Springer. It is some similarly like that. We have IEEE in publisher. Let's say I'm searching IEEE. I would not search conference. I'll search for a journal, IEEE. And then choose any one of this journal, IEEE Computer Graphics and Applications. And then I just use this format. And until this gets loaded, I'll again keep answering some questions. Is there any possible for getting personal practical experience by using the software? Is there any available free demo usage for individual? Yes, Mr. Venkatesh, you can just go ahead and sign up for a free trial. The free trial is limited to 1,000 words itself. Now answering Mr. Kailash, Dr. Kailash Shaw's question, convert it into IEEE. You can see this is an IEEE format. I'm clicking on output now. Now the same article would actually get converted into IEEE format. Clicking on unnumbered. Yeah, you can see this is the IEEE format. Now once you have done it, you just click on download and then download it as PDF. That's how it is. Keep the recording of this program available for all. Vidyasagar, this recording would be available on Nexus Company's YouTube channel. We have our TypeSet's YouTube channel as well, typeset.youtube. Let me share those links with you so that you guys can visit as well. help.typeset.io. So we have a YouTube channel. All the recordings, all the product videos, or any such training videos are available on the Typeset YouTube channel as well. And also we have Nexus Company's YouTube channel. You can go ahead and visit anyone among this. And we have a help.typeset.io blog as well. And then do it. Now, yeah, with respect to the feedback and participation certificate, you would actually receive a feedback link after this webinar. You can put in your feedback link. You can put in your feedback on the respective link, and Mr. Mahesh Wag or probably the institution would actually get in touch with you in terms of helping you with the participation certificate. Smita Pataskar, for institutional subscription, is there any limit on the number of papers or number of authors? No, as I've answered this before. For institutional subscription, there is no limit on the number of papers, but for the number of authors, you will have to help us with the number of licenses. So if you want 100 licenses, we'll provide you 100 licenses like that. What is the difference between Mendeley and Typeset? Very good question, Vikram Singh Kaira. Mendeley is a software that will help you in formatting only references, but Typeset is a software that will help you in formatting the entire document. That is the major difference. When we upload MS Word file, is it required to be in particular format? Not really. You can upload an MS Word file, kind of an unformatted MS Word file as well. You just have to highlight the headings. The headings of a particular document have to be made bold. That is the only requirement. What about the security of the data? As I mentioned to you, we have a security and data privacy page on our website. I would request you to go ahead and have a look at it. Babu Saheb Bhanudas, I think I have answered this question. How to check the access quality of journals. So generally, any journal that is there on Typeset has an impact factor of score of above 2. So you can just go ahead and Google and you can put in as like for an example, we use Sage Journal of Nanotechnology. You can search for like this, and that will give you the impact factor score as well. You can visit the website or you can go ahead and have a look at it. So most of the impact factors are available online. It's just a simple Google search. Supriya Shukla, if you use free subscription, for how many papers can we use? It will only be one paper and limited to about 1,000 words. What is the minimum cost if you want to use personal work related or research? The minimum cost would be about $20 a month or $96 a year. Deepthi George, does TypeScript help in language correction? We just only help in spelling correction. We do not do any sort of language corrections. Smita Pataskar, who is the developer of this software? Typeset is a registered company. I'm actually a part of Nexus company, but I specialize in Typeset software. That is how Typeset is actually a company that has been there since the past 6 years. We have been used in some of the top institutions in India and also across the globe, such as Stanford, ETH Zurich, University of Montana, University of Berkeley. All of these institutions use our software. Minakshi Dorwar, paper is available in your cloud for how much duration? Until and unless you delete the document, it will be in the software. But nobody apart from you will be able to access the document. Which one institutes and university today using this software? You can go on the formats gallery and you'll be able to search under the university column. All the university lists that you see are using our software. I think there must be issue with the feedback form. I think once the demo webinar gets opened, we'll have a probably look at it and you'll be able to put in your feedback there. Sure, and this is one of an important information. We have a kind of a Telegram group, which is respected to in terms of this group actually helps all the researchers with any of the upcoming webinars in terms of research writing, choosing a particular journal or any such things like that. So if you want regular updates on any of the research activities that is happening across India, I would request all the participants to just go ahead and attend this, to be a part of this group. So whenever you have any update, you will be able to go ahead and be a part of those sessions or webinars in the future. So we will probably just go ahead and end the webinar at the moment. Is there anything else that you would want to add in, Ms. Malti or Avinash, Dr. Avinash, or we can just directly go ahead and end the session?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
I would like to speak something else.
Sure.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, AKURDI, Internal Quality Assurance Cell and Central Library, I am very much thankful to all the participants for your patient listening to the software. And the software is very much useful for all the participants, those who are into research and those who are doing research, those who have completed research also. So once again, I thank everyone for your wonderful contribution. And also the speaker has given very good insight about the software to all the participants. Very good software, very useful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Dr. Malti, for having us do a webinar at your institution, that is D.Y. Patil. We look forward to hosting many such webinars in the future as well. So
we are also you are most welcome to our institute.
So we are just going ahead and ending this webinar. Post this webinar, all of the attendees will receive a feedback link. Please go ahead and fill that, and post which you should be able to receive a participation certificate as well. So I thank everyone. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yes, I also thanks to sir, you also, Zishan sir, and Mahesh Wak sir for arranging and helping us to organize such a very nice webinar where we can write our research, and you also by this software we can have the platform to write our research and publish in many formats. So thanks to all, And also thanks to all the participants who joined and patiently listening all the session, all the session which you talk about the software. So I would like to also tell all the participants that your feedback form will send to your email ID. Then after filling that, you can have the certificates. So don't worry about it. All will get the e-certificate on your registered mail ID. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of the webinar. We look forward to hosting you again. You guys have a great rest of the day.
Thank you, sir.